Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for your confirmations in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Yes. So what's our plan for today's session? Today we'll be learning a new concept called auto scaling. Okay. Today we'll be learning a new concept called auto scaling. What is auto scaling? We'll be experiencing the terms called launch configuration. What is auto scaling group? I'll be introducing a new service called as SNS, stands for Simple Notification Service. We'll also learn how to create an alarms. Why should we create alarms? And what are scaling policies? Why should we create scaling policies? All these terms will be very simple and will be very clearly explained in this today's session related to concept of auto scaling. Load balancer and auto scaling both goes together. So in the last session, we have discussed about load balancer, isn't it? So in this session, we are learning about auto scaling. Very frequently asked questions is about load balancers and auto scaling. As usual, before getting into concepts of today's session, so let's have interaction with some of the participants, starting with Charan Reddy. Good evening, Charan. How are you doing? What's your question for today? You are now allowed to unmute, Charan. You are now allowed to unmute and talk. By default, you'll be on mute. You have to unmute and talk. Rizwana Banu.
Sir, hi sir, how are you?
I'm doing well, Rizwana. How are you doing? You're from which location?
Yeah, I'm from Andhra, sir,
Yes.
Anantapur.
Your question.
And I'm a middleware admin actually with 6+ years of IT experience.
Okay, so how is your learning about AWS? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's good, sir. Actually, I'm planning to move to cloud technologies like AWS, DevOps for job change and all.
Okay.
So the thing is, I can easily understand these topics, but how about the interview sessions and all, sir? Is this fine with this 6+ experience, this training and all? I can go with that, right?
As you are planning to shift your existing middleware platform to the latest technologies, Rizwana,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
I strongly recommend after completing this DevOps AWS, I also strongly recommend to learn DevOps. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay.
AWS and DevOps combination, I hope you know it's doing very well in the market. Okay.
Yes.
Only
Yes,
AWS if you're looking for AWS engineer positions. Okay. But as you already have from middleware, I strongly recommend to go with DevOps also. So after both the courses, you can definitely put your resume and then switch your technology from your current technology to AWS DevOps. Okay.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much for your suggestions.
Thank you, Rizwana. Thank you very much. Vinod Sairam.
Hi, hi Sunil.
Yes, Vinod.
Yeah, the same way how Rizwana has asked, that is the question I have, because I'm also from middleware technologies.
Okay.
From last 12 years, and I've been working in IBM BPM.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So I have the same answer for you. You have to learn DevOps also, Vinod. Okay. Only AWS probably suits for professionals who are having 2 to 3 years of experience. Okay, Vinod. So
Yes.
as you already have good experience, so switching to DevOps is recommended. Okay. So I strongly recommend to learn both the skill sets. Okay. And then prepare your resume, how to place the projects. Anyways, you'll get the guidance, you'll get the confidence once you do hands-on. How is the learning experience on AWS?
Yeah, it's very good, because we see daily about, regarding the other servers like Prod and all, and we don't know how the configuration has been done until now, right?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. You are able to now relate, Vinod, isn't it? How exactly the infrastructure team is, you can understand it, how exactly they're working with respect to requirement.
It's a bit easy for us because we already are into the market from last 12 years, right? So it's very easy to understand for me, but for newbies it would be very hard.
You're right. Okay.
But
And the more and more we get into today's auto scaling is much more technical when compared to load balancer, Vinod. So the more and more we get into the concepts like Route 53, VPN, okay, and identity and access management. These are much more getters, because we are still in day 5, isn't it? The more we get into the middle of the course, you'll have more understanding how exactly cloud will help the clients to manage their infrastructure. You'll enjoy the rest of the course also.
Yes,
okay.
Actually, I'm also planning to propose this AWS migration, because all our servers are physical servers. We'll plan to migrate all this to cloud, because it is easy to handle, as you're telling, right? Scaling and all.
Very easy. So this learning with this knowledge, whether you're planning to shift your technology or not, in the middleware also, if you put AWS as your skill set, it adds value to your current profile also, because
yes, exactly.
It's up to you whether you want to migrate to latest one or not. But even cloud is AWS or cloud platform is something which is common for every resource nowadays.
Yes, exactly.
Because at one point of time you will be talking to the infrastructure team, isn't it? Okay.
Yes.
Even though
every day we'll be having one or the other issues.
So having this knowledge will make yourself more comfortable in your work environment.
Yes. Thank you for explaining.
Thank you, Vinod. If you're happy, please refer our upcoming courses to your friend circle. Okay.
Sure. Actually, I got a reference for the same way. I have referred many guys, and
all the participants are joining or through references only.
Yeah, our team is also in this meeting.
Please convey my regards to your team members.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. One more final interaction before getting into the today's concepts. Rajkumar Kaniveni.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Raj.
Yes, sir. I would ask two, sir. Two questions. First one regarding the step 2. Hello.
Yeah. Please proceed.
Yeah. First one is step 2 while creating the load balancer. Yeah.
You're talking about yesterday's session, right?
Yes, yesterday's session.
So yesterday's session, step 1, what we have done, we have created one EC2 machine.
EC2 machine, and step 2 was little bit different.
Bootstrap scripts we have used.
Bootstrap scripts.
Yeah, right.
Just quickly recall that first one.
Yeah.
And the second one is, what if two machines?
No, I have not understood your question. Please tell me your question again.
Not big, sir. It is a create step 2. I need to recall that one.
Okay. Now, generally, whenever you want some set of commands to be executed, whenever the EC2 machine starts, Rajkumar. Okay. We want some commands. In step 1, what we have done, we have manually connected to that EC2 machine, isn't it?
Yes.
Using putty, and we have executed some 7 to 8 commands. The same commands I have mentioned it in step 3, that is in Bootstrap scripts. They get executed automatically. That's it. That's the only difference, Raj.
It will be executed automatically.
That's it. It becomes a web server.
Okay. And the second question.
And I recommend you to please do hands-on also, Raj. Okay, and then go through the videos. Okay.
Okay.
It will help you for you. Yeah.
Yes. A second question is, what if these two machines are full?
Yeah, that's called as auto scaling. That is the answer for today's session. Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, auto scaling. Yes. Yesterday, what we had done, load balancer. What happens if one machine is down? Automatically, traffic will be routed to the second machine. So that's how you can avoid the downtime.
Yes.
But let's say, assuming one machine can withhold maximum 100 requests. Okay.
Yes.
Assuming, or 1,000 requests.
Okay.
So second, as there are two machines, 100 plus 100, it can managed up to 2,000 requests. Requests are nothing but users like you and me accessing the application, isn't it, Raj?
Yes, sir.
But if the incoming requests are 5,000,
yeah.
If the incoming traffic is 5,000 requests, so 2,500 it will divert to EC2 machine 1, 2,500 it will divert to EC2 machine 2. But these EC2 machines have have maximum limit of 1,000, isn't it? So both the machines will be down. So even both the machines will be down. So at that point of time, what should happen? The cloud platform features such a way that auto scaling should help us to create a third machine, and then that third machine should be created automatically as when the traffic is increasing, and that will be attached to EC2 machine automatically, and the load balancer now start distributing the third machine also. So when the traffic increases, the new infrastructure should be created automatically, Rajkumar. At the same time, when the traffic decreases, the EC2 machine should be removed automatically, because we want to reduce the bill to the client, isn't it? So this concept of automatically in creating the infrastructure when the traffic increases, and automatically removing the infrastructure when the traffic decreases. For example, in Amazon, or in Flipkart, they do a lot of advertisements in the sale, isn't it? This Dasara sale or Diwali sale, whatever
Yes,
it
sir.
is. At that time, the traffic will be not regular. It will be 10 times more than normal traffic, isn't it, Rajkumar?
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
automatically, when the traffic increases, the infrastructure gets created, and automatically when the traffic decreases, we have to it should remove the infrastructure, is it?
Yeah.
So this is called as auto scaling. So your answer will be discussed in today's session, Raj. Your question.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Okay. So in continuation to the discussion what I had with Raj, let's have a discussion about, let's have our understanding with respect to today's agenda is auto scaling. So these are the points which we'll be covering in today's session. Very, very important. Definitely when you are attending the interview, every interview, you will have this question on auto scaling. The compulsory, you will get question on auto scaling. So what is auto scaling policies? Why should we create policies? How many policies you have created? What is the need for creating alarms? What is notification? Why should we create notifications? And all this will be one. There's no concept for frequently asked questions from my point of view. If you are clearly understanding the concept, automatically you can understand, you can answer the questions related to that particular concept. So conceptual understanding is very, very important. So let's get into the practicals of auto scaling feature. As per the look at the auto scaling, what AWS says regarding auto scaling. Auto scaling helps you to ensure that you have correct number of EC2 machines available. To make sure that you have correct number of EC2 machines available. How many EC2 machines are available to handle the traffic? Yesterday, for last session, what we have done, we have created 2 EC2 machines. We have created 2 EC2 machines in the last session, and both the EC2 machines we have attached to load balancer. This is a stress infrastructure. Load balancer is receiving the traffic, very good, and then it is distributing the traffic to the targets. That's fine. But how many EC2 machines are right number of instances? Should we have 2 instances behind the load balancer? Should we create 3 instances? How to determine the correct number of these instances? Should we create 3 instances and attach it to load balancer? Should we create 4 instances? Should we create 10 instances? Should we create 100 instances? How to determine the correct number of EC2 machines? It is very difficult to determine because the traffic is dynamic. The traffic is dynamic. When traffic is dynamic, you cannot say that the number of machines are static. When the traffic is dynamically when the traffic is increasing, you may never know at midnight also the traffic may increase. At that time, automatically, we cannot expect the AWS team to log into AWS and then create the infrastructure attached to EC2 machines. No. When the traffic increases, automatically the EC2 machine should be created. This concept is called as auto scaling. By looking at the term, you have to understand it. And day one concepts are very, very important. Availability, scalability, pay as you go basis. That is common terms for all the services. You have to keep for the cloud concept itself. Cloud concepts runs on availability, scalability, pay as you go basis. So auto scaling feature ensures that the clients will have correct number of EC2 machines available to handle the load. You create a collection of EC2 machines called as auto scaling group. We'll see it practically. Auto scaling group is nothing but collection of EC2 machines. We will specify the minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances. My dear friends, we specify minimum number always. We should specify minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances. Minimum limit and maximum limit. Even though there is zero traffic, also minimum limit it will be maintained. That means minimum infrastructure will be maintained. And there will be maximum limit also. So we should, as per the concept, we should mention, AWS says that we should mention minimum number of instances as well as maximum number of instances in the concept of auto scaling group. And Amazon EC2 makes sure that the group will never go above the size. Okay, so we have to provide the lower limit and upper limit so that the infrastructure will be available according to the limits. Okay, so all these concepts, how to create the auto scaling feature, how to implement auto scaling feature for a client in the AWS infrastructure. Let's get into practicals. So it's a step-by-step process. You can see here, step 1, first we create a load balancer. First we create load balancer. In the last session, compared to last session, last session what we have done, first we have created EC2 machines. I hope you remember, my dear friends. In the previous session, first we have created EC2 machines, then we have attached the EC2 machines to the load balancer. But here the approach is different. First we start with creating load balancer. We are not creating EC2 machines. First we are creating load balancer. First we are creating load balancer. That is first step. Look at the step-by-step approach. Step-by-step approach is very, very important. And then we create launch configuration. You may have a question. What is launch configuration? What is launch configuration? I'll answer it. So we'll be creating a topic in SNS. What is SNS? What is auto scaling group? What is creating alarm? What do you mean by creating alarm? So it's a 6-step process. Adding policies. All this we'll see clearly and we'll understand practically step by step. Then you'll understand the importance of launch configuration, importance of auto scaling group, importance of alarm, importance of policies. Let's get into the practical. So first step, let's create load balancer. Load balancer creation, we already have done it in a previous session. I'll be a little bit fast because we already have done the concept of load balance. I don't need to explain about the features like response timeout, interval, unhealthy threshold, healthy threshold. We already have done it, isn't it? Participants also missed the classes. Please go through the recording. That's the advantage of recordings. So first step, let's create a load balancer. The name of the load balancer, what I want to create is sample underscore LB with today's date 1. Okay. And I want to create a security group sample underscore SG1. I'm naming a security group. I'm opening how many ports SSH and HTTP port. And look at the configure health check. And these are the values I provide for unhealthy threshold, healthy threshold. I review and create the load balancers. Let me first create the concept of load balancer. Let's first create the concept of, let's create the load balancer component. Let's proceed with step 1. Let's log into AWS. And my dear friends, those who are not part of WhatsApp group, I'm still getting some information saying that you are not part of WhatsApp group. If you are not part of WhatsApp group, okay, if you are not part of WhatsApp group, please join the, do not join duplicate groups. You may be already in the WhatsApp group 81 some with hyphen some number. This is for participants who are not belonging to WhatsApp group. I'm sending the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. Pick up the WhatsApp group link and join using the WhatsApp group link. Okay, this is for please do not join duplicate groups. Okay, fine. Let's go ahead and create load balancer. Let's log into AWS. Services. Let's go to EC2 service. Instances. Right now, this is only one instance. This I am using for a different batch. So please ignore this instance. This is the EC2 dashboard. We already know it. We are not creating EC2 missions. First step, what we are doing, we are creating load balancer. How to create load balancer? We already know it. Scroll down here. We have an option of load balancers. I do not have any load balancers in this particular region. Let's go ahead and create a load balancer. Let us go ahead and create a load balancer. Create load balancer. I hope you know we are going with classic load balancer. Web servers are perfect for classic load balancers. I'm going with classic load balancer. Name of the load balancer. Sample LB1. Name can be anything. Next. I will create a new security group. Name of the security group is sample and -SG1. And what ports I open? SSH port and HTTP port. Next. Response timeout 2 seconds. Interval every 5 seconds. Unhealthy threshold 2, healthy threshold 2. We already know it. Add the EC2 missions. Right now we don't have EC2 missions, so I'm not adding any EC2 missions. Next, I don't want any tags. Review and create. Review the details what I have created, and then I create a load balancer. Successfully created load balancer. Name of the load balancer is sample LB1. Step 1 is done. Step 1 is nothing new. We already know the concept of creating load balancer. This is a load balancer which we have created. We have not created EC2 missions. We have created load balancer only. Next. Step 2. Create launch configuration. Step 1 is load balancer. We have done it. Now step 2, we are learning what do you mean by launch configuration. Before getting into practicals, let's try to understand what do you mean by launch configuration. Vinod, can we have a talk to understand the concept of launch configuration?
Yes.
Okay. Assume that there are 2 EC2 machines attached to the load balancer. Assume.
Okay. Yeah.
Assume that there are two EC2 machines attached to a load balancer.
Yes.
When the traffic is keeping on increasing, when both the EC2 machines are unable to handle the traffic, the concept, what concept says that? The concept says that the third EC2 machine should be created automatically without any human intervention. Agree?
Yes.
It can be midnight, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock at any point of time. When the traffic increases, automatically the new EC2 machine should be created and that new EC2 machine should be attached to the load balancer. All this should happen automatically. Fine.
Yes.
When we want the new EC2 machine to be created, fine. But what should be the RAM of that EC2 machine? What should be the hard disk of that particular? What is the hard disk capacity of that particular new EC2 machine which you want to create automatically? What should be the operating system of that particular new EC2 machine? What port needs to be opened in that particular new EC2 machine? Should we install any software or is it empty Linux, empty operating system? So all these you have to define it, isn't it? According to the details what you mentioned, the new EC2 machine should be created. Am I right?
Yes.
So using this configuration details, the RAM, hard disk, operating system, port number, okay, and what according to these details what you have mentioned, then it will use these details, and then using these details the new EC2 machine will be launched. So this information is called as what? Launch configuration. So in the launch configuration, my dear friends, we will mention the configuration information of the EC2 machine, which should be created automatically. When you go to when your computer peripheral shop, we give the configuration. According to the configuration you give, you get the laptop or a desktop, isn't it? In the same way, we should be giving the configuration information to the AWS. I want this new EC2 machine should be having this much amount of RAM. It should be 4 GB RAM or 8 GB RAM. It should be this much hard disk. The new EC2 machine should be of so and so operating system, and this port needs to be open, and this software needs to be installed. All this we define it in concept called launch configuration. Clear, Saira, Vinod? The concept of launch configuration. Let's proceed and let's learn how to create launch configuration.
Yeah.
Thank you. Step 2, create launch configuration. When you're creating launch configuration, you have to provide a name to the launch configuration. I want to name it as sample LCG1. This is the name of the launch configuration which I want to create. Fine. In this launch configuration, I should mention the operating system. Operating system in AWS is nothing but AMI. I hope you know it. When you're launching the EC2 machine, step 1, choose AMI. AMI is nothing but operating system. We already know it. So I will be using this particular operating system, AMI. When you're practicing, please also use this AMI only. Please do not use any other AMI, because these are the AMIs which will support few AMIs does not support auto scaling. So for practicals, please use this particular AMI. Okay. So, and in step 2, I'll be mentioning T2 micro instances. T2 micro instances is nothing but you already know it. This new EC2 machine, when you mention as T2 micro, that means the new EC2 machine that will be created comes with 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. Okay. One minute, please. Yeah, I'm back. So let's go ahead and create launch configuration. And in that launch configuration, I want it's not an empty Linux machine. I want my HTTPD software to be installed on that particular new EC2 machine that gets created automatically. So I'm running the commands. The bootstrap scripts I'll be mentioning in the launch configuration, and I'll be using an existing security group. I hope you remember we have created one security group, sample SG1. So I'll be using the same security group. And then at the end, it will ask you to download the key pair. I'll be downloading the key pair. This is the name of the key pair which I'll download. Using this key pair, if I want to connect to that particular instance which gets created automatically, I can connect it using that particular key pair. So I hope you have looked at the information we mentioned, the launch configuration, we mentioned the operating system, we mentioned the type of instance, that is T2 micro, and I mentioned the bootstrap scripts. This gets executed automatically. I mentioned the security group. It's all about what port needs to be open, and I download the key pair. Also using that key pair, I can connect to those machines that gets created automatically. So let's go ahead and proceed. Create launch configuration. How to create launch configuration? In the EC2 dashboard, scroll down. You can see we already have created load balancer. The name of the load balancer is sample LB1. Below load balancer, scroll down. There's a concept called auto scaling. Under auto scaling, we have a concept called launch configuration. Right now, there are no launch configurations found. Now I am creating a new launch configuration. Name of the launch configuration. Name can be anything. AMI is refers to the operating system. Please use this AMI only. Practically, we will be using customized AMIs. Okay, we'll be using customized AMIs, but you don't know about the concept of customized AMIs. I have not discussed about customized AMIs, so I'm using this particular AMI. When we learned about customized AMIs, practically we'll be using customized AMIs. Okay, you'll understand what I mean by customized AMIs. To start with, let's go with this particular AMI. And that new instance that will be created is of what type of instance? That should be of T2 micro instance. Okay. Under advanced details, under user data, I'll mention the bootstrap scripts. That means this scripts gets executed automatically when the EC2 machine gets launched. Fine. Next. Select an existing security group. I hope you remember the name of the security group is sample SG1. This is what we have created in today's session. Create a new key pair. Key pair name can be anything. Sample KP1. Download the key pair. In my desktop, I press patch 81 and downloading the key pair. Fine. Scroll down, create launch configuration. So all the details required for creating a new EC2 machine. I have mentioned about AMI is nothing but operating system. I mentioned ST2 micro. That means I have mentioned the hardware configuration, the RAM configuration, hard disk configuration, AMI, everything I have mentioned clearly. Perfect. Let's go ahead and create launch configuration. Look at the message, successfully created launch configuration. The name of the launch configuration is sample LCG1. I'm done with creating launch configuration. Vinod, am I clear in explaining the importance of launch configuration?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yes. Any questions? Please raise your hand. Okay. Vishwajit Vasudev, your question, please.
So, sir, my name is Vishwajit, and my question is, what are you developing here? Because I have came late. So, what is the importance in this session that what we are developing?
Okay, first point, please don't be late, Vishwajit. Okay, please make sure that you're at the right time because there are thousands of participants attending. So every time is very important. Next point, yes, we are not developing anything. We are creating an infrastructure which helps, we are discussing about the concept of auto scaling, using which the infrastructure gets created automatically when the traffic increases. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Please go through the recordings so that you get the concept of what you have missed. Gloria Tequai.
Hello, sir. Good morning. So I'm calling in from the US. I was wondering for the AMI, if the AMI you use is specific to the Mumbai location, because I can't find it on when I search.
You are right. This AMI is specific to Mumbai location. So for this particular example, I recommend you to switch to Mumbai and please use this particular AMI. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So clear about concepts, whatever we are learning, Gloria?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more final interaction. Junaid Babar.
Hi, Zunil.
Hi, Junaid. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How about you?
Yeah, doing well. Yes. Your question, please.
Actually, this is my second batch. I have attended your 77th batch.
Okay.
AWS.
Okay.
And my question is actually, what is why we are using this EMI?
Okay. Well, practically, we will be not using predefined AMIs. Junaid, for auto scaling, we'll be creating customized AMIs. We'll be using the customized AMIs. Okay. As we have not learned about customized AMIs, I am using this particular AMI. Okay. When we learned about customized AMIs, you'll understand the importance of it.
Actually, I was trying to do auto scaling and doing
But you got an
hands-on,
error.
but yeah.
Because you have not used this particular AMI. I recommend you to use this particular AMI.
And
Okay.
no, actually, I use this AMI. Include Biba. Last there is Beba, right?
This is Beba only.
But it wasn't supporting.
Now let's see it. Let's see the result now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So we are done in understanding the importance of launch configuration. Fine. So this information is about launch configuration. Next. Step 1, we have created load balancer. Next step, we have created launch configuration. Next step, I'm creating a topic. I'm creating a topic in SNS. What is SNS and how to create a topic is very simple. SNS stands for Simple Notification Service. My dear friends, right from day one, we are learning about one service called as an EC2. We have started with EC2. Till date, we are learning only one service called as an EC2. Now here, we are now jumping into one more service. We'll be experiencing one more service called as Simple Notification Service. It is called as SNS. Okay. Now, what is the importance of Simple Notification Service? Look at this. When the traffic increases, as per the auto scaling concept, the new EC2 machine should be created automatically. Very good. When the new EC2 machine gets created automatically, that's fine to handle the load. That's very good. But as an AWS team, you should know that the EC2 machine got created automatically. You should get an email to the AWS team, infrastructure team, to the resources who are managing infrastructure, saying that at midnight 2 o'clock this particular infrastructure has been created automatically. We should receive a notification, because we should know what's going on in the background. We should be aware of what's happening. It will happen automatically, but we should get the information about what is happening automatically, how many machines are getting created automatically, how many machines are removing automatically. You should get that information. When can you get the information? When you use the notification service. Simple, as the name suggests, Simple Notification Service is helping us to send the notifications to the AWS team. Let's say if you're working for ICICI Bank, ICICI Bank has recruited some 20 resources to manage the AWS infrastructure. So all the 20 resources should know what's happening in the background. So if Paytm is running on AWS as a Paytm cloud infrastructure team, you should know what's happening in the background when the traffic is getting increasing. If your client is Flipkart, when the traffic increases, as an AWS infrastructure team, we should receive notification saying that the EC2 machine has been created automatically. How do we receive notification? Is something like email notification. When talking about notifications, email notification. So we can receive, in the sense, AWS team can receive notifications what's happening in the background automatically, what's happening automatically by use a service called as notification service. So let's go ahead and experience the Simple Notification Service. In Simple Notification Service, what we do is we have a concept called topic. So what we do is we create a topic first. So let's experience this concept of topic in SNS. So how to select, how to go to SNS? Under services, we have application integration. Under application integration, we have a service called Simple Notification Service. Under services, application integration. Under that, we have Simple Notification Service. So this is how the dashboard looks like. I already have a topic, so don't worry. I will be removing this topic. Please don't mind. So that we can start from the scratch. Done. So this is how the Simple Notification dashboard looks like. First, you have to create a topic. Can you see in the option we have topics? Right now, there are no topics. First step, what we need to do is to create a topic. Topic is something like a group. I have created WhatsApp group, right? So I'm adding contact numbers to the WhatsApp group. Am I right? So that I can send you notification about the reminder saying that starts at 5:30, batch starts at 5, session starts at 5:30. How are you receiving the notification? Because I have created a group. Here, group is called as topic. As simple as that. So first step, what I do, I create topic. I go with standard. Topic name can be anything. I'm naming it as my topic 1. Topic name can be anything. Topic description, display name is also the same as name, and then go ahead and create a topic. So first step, what I'm doing, I'm creating a topic. Topic is something like a group. Topic is created. Can you see? Topic has been created. The name of the topic is my topic 1. Click on the topic. This topic is right now having 0 subscriptions. This topic is right now having 0 subscriptions. We'll be creating subscriptions under the topic. Like how I will add contact numbers inside the WhatsApp group. In the same way, I will be adding email addresses to this topic. This email address is nothing but called as subscriptions. Okay, you can have 10 subscriptions. Let's say Flipkart is maintaining an AWS team of 20 resources. All the 20 resources should receive an email saying that infrastructure has been created automatically. So we'll be adding all the email addresses here. Okay, so let's add our email addresses. So I create subscription. And protocol, how do you want to receive notifications? You can receive notification using SMS. If you want to receive notification using SMS, you have to provide your 10-digit mobile number. If you want to receive notification to email, you should provide the email address. So it's up to us. So I want to receive notification through an email. I'm mentioning the protocol is email, and here I'll be mentioning the email address. Let's say I have this email address in DevOps 77. That's it. Create subscription. So the first step, what I have done, I have created a topic. Next step, what I have done, I have created subscriptions under the topic. Now you can see this is the topic which you have created. This topic is having how many subscriptions? 1 subscription. That is 1 email address. It's like this, you can have a number of subscriptions. Okay, the subscriber should click on confirmation. Subscriber is nothing but me. I should agree saying that I should receive. I agree to receive notifications from AWS. So let me connect to my Gmail account. Let me right now you can see the status as confirmation. Pending confirmation. Let me confirm the subscriptions. So let me log into sunildevops77@gmail.com. I logged into my Gmail. See my topic, AWS notification subscription confirmation. I will confirm the subscription. Subscription confirmed. So now from now I will receive emails from AWS. So you can see the status also gets changed. Previously it was pending confirmation. Now I click on refresh. So it's confirmed. So I have created topic. Inside the topic, I have added subscriptions. That is, I have added email addresses. Step 3 is done. Step 3 is done. Okay. Quick recap. Step 1, I have created load balancer. Next, I have created launch configuration. In the launch configuration, I have provided the configuration information of the EC2 machine, which should be created automatically. Step 3, I have created topic in SNS. Next, step 4, I will create auto scaling group. You may have a question, Sunil, what is the auto scaling group? Do you remember in the concept when I started, I mentioned that I'll be mentioning the lower limit as well as upper limit. So where should we mention the minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances under auto scaling group? You should mention the minimum number of instances and maximum number of instances. Let's proceed. Next step, what I'll do, I create an auto scaling group. How to create auto scaling group? First, select the launch configuration which you have created. Go back to EC2 service. Go back to EC2 service. We have created what? Launch configuration, right? Go to launch configuration. This is the name of the launch configuration which you have created. Select the launch configuration. Go to actions. Create auto scaling group. Using this particular launch configuration, I'm creating an auto scaling group. Yes. In the auto scaling group, mention the name of the auto scaling group. I won't name it as sample ASG with 1. This is the name of the auto scaling group. Okay. And I need to mention in which subnet I want the new EC2 machines to be created automatically. I am using a new term called subnet in this example. Till now, we have not used any term called subnet. This is the first time I'm using a term called subnet. What is subnet? You know, we are connected to Mumbai region. We all know that we are connected to Mumbai region. The Mumbai region is divided into 3 partitions. Every region is divided into partitions. Those partitions are called as subnets. Every region is divided into partitions. Those partitions are called as subnets. So here you should mention when you want the new EC2 machine should be created automatically, in which partition you want the new EC2 machine should be created. So Mumbai region is having 3 partitions: AP South -1A, 1B, and 1C. So I'm selecting one partition. Doesn't make any difference. You can select any partition whichever you want. I'm selecting 1A. Attached to load balancer, obviously you have to provide the load balancer information, because when the new EC2 machine should be created, it should get attached to the load balancer automatically. So you have to specify to which load balancer you want the EC2 machine should be created. So select from the load balancer which you have created, and then configure the group size, and then click on next and review and create. Let's go ahead and create an auto scaling group. Create auto scaling group. Name of the auto scaling group. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stages. Not 6, in fact 7 stages. First, name of the auto scaling group. Sample ASG1. Based on the launch configurations already selected. Next. Network in Mumbai, which availability zone? I want to create my EC2 machines in first partition. That is called as availability zone. Availability zone is also called as subnet. Next. Attached to existing load balancer. Agree? Attached to existing load balancer. What is our load balancer? Our load balancer is a classic load balancer. Select the classic load balancer. Automatically, you should be able to see the load balancer here. Perfect. Next. Desired capacity, minimum capacity, and maximum capacity. Desired capacity is nothing but to start with how many instances you want. The moment you complete this, how many instances? Desired capacity, I mentioned it as 4. Minimum capacity, if there is 0 traffic also, you want to have minimum number of instances, right? Even though there is 0 traffic, I want to have minimum number of instances as 4. Maximum number of instances, I define it as 10. Always we have to provide the maximum limit, because no client wants unexpected bills. It's always good to provide limitations, because no client wants an unexpected bill. So we'll also mention the maximum capacity. Okay. Anyways, you can modify this auto scaling group. Fine. So we have provided minimum capacity, maximum capacity. That's it. Next. Notification. Add notification. So here I should receive notification when the EC2 machine created. So when I click on add notification, in the add notification, it will ask for link and SMS topic. Do you remember we have created a topic in the previous step? What is the name of the topic? What is the name of the topic? I hope you remember. It's my topic 1. You can see the topic which you have created here. That means whenever the new EC2 machine gets created, the information will be sent to this particular topic. Topic is nothing but group of email addresses. As of now, we have 1 email addresses. You can have multiple email addresses. Fine. I have linked to the notification also. That's the importance of creating notification, linking the notification. Next. Provide a tag. I'm wrapping it as name tag, because I want to, when a EC2 machine gets created automatically, it should have a name. I'm naming it as a web server. Fine. Naming it as web server. Key, I'm writing it as name. I'm writing it as web server. Next. Next. Review the details. I have created an auto scaling group, and this auto scaling group creates the EC2 machine in this particular availability zone, and it will be attached to this particular load balancer. And this will be the group size. As we have mentioned, desired capacity of 4, minimum capacity is 4. By the time when you click on create auto scaling group, the new EC2 machine gets created automatically. Create auto scaling group. Sample ASG notification has been created successfully. Okay. So we have created auto scaling group also. How many auto scaling group we have created? One auto scaling group. Okay. Desired capacity, I mentioned it as 4 in this example. Okay. By this time, 4 EC2 machines will be created. I think so. Let's go ahead and select the EC2 server instance. Go to instances tab. My dear friends, what's happening here? 4 missions has been created. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 missions has been created. We know, did we create these 4 missions manually?
No.
No. As the desired capacity is 4 and the 4 missions has been created automatically. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. As the desired capacity is 4, by this time the 4 EC2 missions has been created successfully. Next. Step 5. Create alarm. We need to create an alarm in a service called as CloudWatch. Now I am introducing you one more service called CloudWatch. I already have introduced you one service called notification service, using which we'll receive an email notifications. That's very good. I'm now introducing you one more service called as CloudWatch. In this CloudWatch service, we'll be learning how to create an alarm. Okay. Let's learn the importance of alarm. Okay. Vinod, can we have a talk if you don't mind?
Yes, yes.
Assuming that 2 EC2 machines are attached to load balancer.
One load balancer.
Now my question, when the third mission, when the new mission will be created, Vinod?
When the
traffic increases.
Next traffic increases.
Agree?
When the traffic increases.
When
yes.
the existing infrastructure is unable to handle the load.
Yes.
When the existing infrastructure is unable to handle load, at that point of time, we expect the new mission should be created.
Yes.
Okay. That means, technically speaking, when the existing machines becomes busy, agree?
Yes.
When the existing machines are unable to handle the load, then the third mission, the new mission should be created automatically. Yes. But how do you define that condition? We should have a condition, isn't it?
Yes.
How we should define a conceptual condition that the existing EC2 machine are becoming very, very busy. So how do you measure that? We should have a metric to measure the existing infrastructure. So that is, how can we measure the whether the EC2 machines are busy or not? That can be measured using a metric called CPU utilization. Okay.
Yes, the performance
every
of the...
mission is it whether even our laptop is also busy or not? You can know it by using CPU utilization also. Our laptop also, if you look at this, go to task manager, Vinod, and here we have performance, and here we have an option called CPU utilization.
Yes.
So my laptop is i5 processor, and you can also see the CPU utilization 25% is 41%, 25% is fluctuating. Okay. Yes. Like this, every mission you can monitor whether the mission is busy or not by using a metric called as CPU utilization. I will be using this CPU utilization metric, and I define a condition. Look at the condition I define. When the average CPU utilization, it's not one EC2 machine, average EC2 machines, agree, isn't it?
Yes.
When the average CPU utilization is more than 80%, this is my condition. Okay, so I'll be creating one alarm. Okay, one alarm saying that when the condition is, alarm is all about defining the conditions. When the average CPU utilization is more than 80%, that is the condition I mentioned. Okay, so for how do you define the conditions? That we can define the conditions using alarms. Okay, Vinod?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's proceed and create alarm. Where should we create alarm? In the service called as CloudWatch. Under services, we have management and governance. Under management and governance, we have a service called as CloudWatch. Services, scroll down. You have management and governance. Under that, we have a service called as CloudWatch. Go to alarms. Go to all alarms. Right now, there are no alarms, 0 alarms. I am creating a new alarm. I'll be creating a new alarm. Look at the metric. Creating an alarm. Select the metric. Based on the service called as EC2. There is a metric based on the concept of auto scaling group. There is a metric called, what is the name of the auto scaling? You can see the name of the auto scaling group here. Sample ASG1. There is a metric called, this is very important, my dear friends, CPU utilization. CPU utilization of this particular group. CPU utilization of not one EC2 machine. CPU utilization of this ASG1, auto scaling group 1. Yes, I have selected the metric. When the CPU utilization of this particular group of machines, average CPU utilization continuously for a period of 5 minutes, if it is greater than or equal to, here you should mention 80. 80 refers to percentage here. Okay, I have defined the condition. Next. I should receive a notification saying that the average CPU utilization is. So here, whenever I want to receive the notification, here also I can use existing topic. So name of the topic, you know, the name of the topic is my topic 1. I have added the topic. Fine. And then that's it. Click on next. Name of the alarm. The name of the alarm, I'm writing it as it is my first alarm. I'm writing it as my underscore alarm 1 is the name of the alarm. Description also, I'm writing this claim. I'm writing the same. And we know the name of the alarm is my alarm 1. Click on next. Just review the details. This alarm is all about condition when the average CPU utilization of this particular auto scaling group is greater than or equal to 80%. That's percentage. Click on create alarm. So I have created one alarm. I have created one alarm. Clear, Vinod? Any questions? Understanding the concept of alarm?
No.
I'll be creating one more alarm when the average CPU utilization is less than 30%. Okay? That is when there is very, very less traffic. Okay. I'll be creating second alarm. How many alarms I'll be creating? 2 alarms. When one alarm, when the utilization is more than 80%. One more alarm when the utilization is less than 30%. So let's proceed and create a second alarm. It's almost the same. I'll quickly do it in no time. Create alarm. Select metric. Based on EC2 service. Auto scaling concept. The metric is CPU utilization. Yes, this is the CPU utilization. Next. When the average CPU utilization continuously for a period of 5 minutes is less than or equal to 30%. Fine, click on next. I want to receive first notification to my topic. Next. This is my second alarm. I'm naming it as my underscore alarm 2. Next. Create. How many alarms I have created? 2 alarms. I'll take a note of it. The first alarm is my underscore alarm 1. The second alarm is my underscore alarm 2. I hope you have cleared, you have understood. I have defined 2 alarms. Okay. Next. Next step. Adding policies to the auto scaling group. We have to add policy. You may have a question, Sunil, what do you mean by policy? My dear friends, alarm is different. Action is different. I want to wake up at 6 o'clock. Okay, I daily I will put an alarm at 6 o'clock at my home. When the condition is true, when the alarm, when the time, when my clock meets 6 o'clock, then I get the alarm. Action is nothing but I'm waking up. I should wake up. That's my action. Alarm is different. Action is different. We have just defined alarms. When the condition becomes true, what you have to do? You have not defined the action. You have just defined the conditions, boss. If the CPU utilization is greater than 80%, I will receive an email. That's it. But what you have to do? What should happen? Technically, what should happen? The new EC2 machine should be created. That you have not defined it. So that we define it in scaling policies. In the scaling policies, you will be defining the action when the condition is true, when the alarm is true, when my alarm triggers, what should happen, that we do it in policies. So now I'll be adding policies, my dear friends. And how to add policies under auto scaling group, which we have created. Go to the auto scaling group, which we have created. Auto scaling group, which you have created. What is the name of the auto scaling? This is the name of the auto scaling which you have created, sample ASG1. Select the auto scaling group which you have created. Next. Under automatic scaling tab, there is a concept called add policy. Can you see here? We have automatic scaling tab. In the automatic scaling tab, there's an option called policy type should be simple scaling. Here I will be adding policies. Yes. Policy type should be simple scaling. Policy name can be anything. Policy name can be anything. I'm writing it as increase underscore policy. Any name you can write it. Or you can write policy 1 also. Any name you can write it. Don't think that there is increase underscore policy, something like predefined policy or something like that. I'm writing it as increase underscore policy because this policy is all about increasing the infrastructure. So that's the reason me naming it as increase underscore policy. If you don't want to name it as increase underscore policy, you can just write it as policy 1. Okay. Alarm. I am selecting my first alarm. I hope you remember what is the condition for first alarm. When the CPU utilization is more than 80%, then what should happen? Take an action. What action I want to take? Add. How many units? I want to add 1 EC2 machine. Units is nothing but add 1 EC2 machine. Click on create. I have created one policy. What's the name of the policy? Name of the policy is increase policy. What this increase policy will do? The increase policy will increase 1 unit when the average CPU utilization of the existing infrastructure is more than 80%. Similarly, Vinod, I will be creating one decrease policy. When the CPU utilization is less than 30%, we don't want that those many number of machines. We can remove it, isn't it, Vinod? So for that, we will be creating one more policy. Create dynamic policy. Again, simple scaling. Policy name, I write it as decrease policy, or you can write any name. This decrease policy, I link to my alarm. That is my second alarm. And when the condition is true, when the CPU utilization of existing infrastructure is less than 30%, I want to remove one instance. One instance. Create. So my dear friends, how many policies we have created under the auto scaling group? We should generally have 2 policies. One is increase policy, the other one is decrease policy. Policy name can be anything. You have to understand the concept. When the alarm one action conditions become true, when the CPU utilization is more than 80%, the action you have clearly defined that 1 EC2 machine will be created automatically. Similarly, when the existing infrastructure is CPU utilization is less than 30%, then we don't want that many number of instances. I want to remove 1 machine. Okay, so I will be adding policies. So that's how you will be defining the that's how we will be defining the auto scaling. We have completed all the steps which helps in creating the infrastructure automatically when the traffic increases, at the same time which helps in removing the infrastructure automatically when the traffic decreases. In the interview, you have to project all this: the importance of launch configuration, the importance of notification service, the importance of auto scaling group. Auto scaling group is all about providing the limit, lower limit and upper limit. Why should we create alarms? How, in which service we'll be creating alarms? What is the importance of policy? Policy is all about what action you want to do it. Alarm is just a condition. Action you have to write it in policies. Clear about this? Now, Vinod, can we have a talk?
Yes.
As we have mentioned the minimum number of instances as 4, as you can see, and if you see in our EC2, we will be finding 4 EC2 machines. Agree?
Yes. Those are base instances.
These are minimum base instances. Okay. Now Vinod, tell me when the 5th machine will be created.
When the CPU utilization is greater than
yes,
80%.
when the CPU average CPU utilization of all the 4 instances, if it is more than 80%, then the 5th machine gets created. We cannot increase the traffic manually, isn't it, Sriram? Okay, we cannot increase the traffic. Okay, because, so that's the reason I cannot show you practically 5th machine getting created, but you have to understand it. Practically, we cannot increase the traffic. I'm right, Vinod. Okay.
Yes.
So that's the conceptual knowledge you have to understand, my dear friends. So when the traffic increases, automatically the new EC2 machine gets created. That's the beauty. Okay. I hope I'm very clear in explaining you the step-by-step process. Quick recap, my dear friends: creating load balancer, create launch configuration, creating a topic, creating an auto scaling group, creating an alarm, adding policies. We will be creating 2 policies: one policy for increasing the EC2 machine, one policy for decreasing the EC2 machine. And one more point: after practicing, I want you to practice, my dear friends. To get the best of the training, you have to practice. After practicing, deletion process is also important. After practicing, don't sign out. Don't sign out. We are using a free tier account. Even though it's using free tier account, don't think as it is free you can misuse it. No, our free tier account is coming with limitations. In 1 month you can use 300 hours of EC2 machines. 300 hours of EC2 machines is free. That's more than enough when you immediately delete it after practicing. So deletion process is also very important. You have to follow this deletion process. First step, what you need to do, delete the auto scaling group. So before deleting is also important. Before showing you deleting process, let's have quick interaction. Okay. Yes. Atul Kasar, how are you doing, Atul? How is today's class?
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you for this session.
Thank you.
It's really amazing. Actually, I have a question. I just wanted to mix both the things what we learned in the last lecture and today, the load balancing and the auto scaling. So in case after configuring the auto scaling, like we have to start with, we have 4 EC2 instances, and suppose one of the instance goes down, then also it will create a new.
Yes, you are right. As you have mentioned, the minimum capacity is 4, Atul. Okay. AWS maintains that it makes sure that the auto scaling makes sure that at any given point of time 4 will be maintained. Okay, because of any reason, if one machine is done, automatically new machine gets created. Okay.
Yeah, and by this rule, if we reach up to 6 EC2 instances, okay, by this 80% rule, we reach up to 6 EC2 instances, and then one of the instance goes down, then it will follow again to the first rule that if the average.
Obviously, when instance goes down, the average percentage becomes raises, isn't it? The average becomes raises, isn't it? Not? So automatically, condition is true. It gets created new instances. Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Clear, Atul? You're from which city?
Yes, very much. Yeah, I'm from Pune.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You are referred by anybody?
Yeah, one of my friend only. So after that, I referred couple of more guys. I'm not sure if they are a part of.
Thank you, Atul.
They have joined up. Yeah,
thank you.
It's really good, and I appreciate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sandeep Shoran. You are allowed to unmute, Sandeep.
Hello.
Hi, Sandeep. How are you doing?
Fine, sir. I'm good. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Yes. Your question, please.
Sir, my question is that how the region is to be changed, because my region is showing different, not Mumbai.
Okay, Sandeep. Very simple.
Okay.
Right now, where I'm pointing to, which region?
That is Mumbai.
You can see I'm pointing to Mumbai.
Yes, sir.
Let's say you don't want to create an infrastructure in Mumbai. You want to create it in Singapore region. Here you have an option where you can switch to.
No.
1 minute.
Okay.
Let me complete.
Sorry. Yes, sir.
You can see now where I'm pointing to.
Singapore.
Do you have any EC2 machines in the Singapore data center? No. All the EC2 machines what I have created is in Mumbai data center.
Yes, sir.
The EC2 machines which is created in Mumbai will not be available in Singapore or Sydney or UK or Europe. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In the same way, if you create one EC2 machine in Singapore, that will not be visible in Mumbai. Okay. These are region specific dashboards. Now your question.
My question is that when I've created the account, no, is my region is showing different, not Mumbai. That is.
I think the first time when you log in, it is showing as North Virginia. I think so. Okay.
Yes, now second one.
Whatever it is,
US.
you can shift it to. If you want, you can continue in the same region. Better
Okay,
to
okay.
switch it in Mumbai and practice. And remember the region in which you are practicing. Okay. Otherwise, if because we have to delete the infrastructure. If you leave it, you get the bill. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Next. Please stay tuned. I'll also show you, in case if you receive the bill, I'll show you how to see the bill. Okay, because the EC2, the AWS free tier account what we have created is having some limitations. I'll show you, in case if you exceed the limitations, we'll get the bill, how to receive a bill. I'll show you it. Before that, I will show you the deletion process. The deletion process is important. To start with, first we have to delete the auto scaling group.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, one more question. If that's instance EC2 machine or instances, every we have created in like for practicing. After practicing, we want to delete all the machines or sort of auto scaling machines.
You're talking about this particular example.
No, for all that's classes you have done.
Yeah, whatever you have created, you have to delete
Yes.
it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Okay.
Whatever
Okay.
you have created, whether it is EC2 machine or launch configuration, auto anything. You
Yes,
create
sir.
it, you delete it, make sure, Sandeep. Okay.
Okay. After practicing, we want when
You have to delete it. Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
So first step, delete the auto scaling. It's in the process of deleting. I think as we have deleted the auto scaling, by the time instances will be into shutdown state automatically. Okay, so let's wait for the auto scaling group to be deleted. It's deleting. KV SR Prasad, how are you doing? You are now allowed to unmute and talk. KV SR Prasad.
Yeah, Sunil, you are able to hear me?
I can hear you, Prasad. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Sunil.
Yes, your question.
Yeah. Actually, I'm from the email collaboration background. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we will receive the alerting system if the CPU is 80% or disk is low. The services are.
You are using a monitoring tool. Monitoring tool will give you the alerts. I agree.
Yeah. Similar like this one.
Something similar to it. Yes, you are right. Here we will be using a service called a simple notification.
Okay, simple. When it is reaches the 80%,
yes,
CPU, it will create other instance.
Exactly.
Actually, we will go and check why it is increasing 80% of CPU.
But here it automatically creates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where there another instance will not be created.
Okay. Here what as per the cloud, what it should happen? Availability, right? Otherwise the application go down. So to make sure it's 100% available, it should be created.
Yeah.
Okay. Next we have to delete launch configuration, which we have created. Go to launch configurations. Actions, there's an option called delete launch configuration. Yes, I think the instances by now this time will be terminated. I think so. See, all the 4 machines has been terminated. Next, delete load balancer, which you have created. Next, delete topic which you have created in the notification service.
Yeah, Sunil, can I ask you one thing?
1 minute, please. First, I remove the subscription. Then I remove the topic. Next, I delete the alarms. Alarms is a part of management and governance. CloudWatch. And CloudWatch service, we will be deleting the alarms. Yes. So this is how we should make sure that we delete whatever we have read. In case if you receive a bill, my dear friends, in case if you receive a bill, how to see the bill? Under services, search for billing. You have to search for billing. Billing is a service where in which you will see how much bill you have received it. Okay, right now I have received 0 bill. Okay. So this is in case if you receive. I sometimes receive bills. Yes, you are right, because I do a lot of trainings. Sometimes I will maintain the infrastructure even though it's exceeding limitations. Okay, so right now you can see the bill is 0. Okay, so like this you can see. If you see the invoices, these are my previous bills. See, $14 US. This is my previous bills for the previous month. Okay, so if you once see, these are my bills. 580 rupees I have paid for 1 month. 800 rupees I have paid. This wantedly I want to do some experiments, so that's the reason I have paid 22,000 on AWS. Okay, so so like this you can see the bills. Okay, so I hope you know how to see the bill. Yes, now your question, Prasad.
No, actually, my brother told that you belong to Don Bosco school.
Sorry,
you are studied in Don Bosco.
How do you know?
My brother, I also studied in Don Bosco.
Okay, good to know that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, then thank you very much, my dear friends. I hope you have enjoyed the session. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Do you think this session is very effective? Please respond yes in the chat box. Do you think this example is effective? Are you able to understand each and every topic what I have explained in today's session? So thank you very much. Your responses will inspire me a lot. Okay, the more you do hands-on, the more and more AWS becomes interesting. So I promise whatever I deliver will be 100% clear. Recordings, I already have mentioned it. If you want the recordings, you have to pay 999 rupees only. I already have shared it in the WhatsApp group. New group anyways, I'll be sharing it soon. Okay, so see tomorrow we'll have many more concepts like creating our own customized AMIs. Okay, and then horizontal scaling, vertical scaling, very important from the conceptual point of view. What is horizontal scaling? What is vertical scaling? How to protect the instance from accidental termination? Much more interesting concepts on tomorrow's session. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.